wanted to thank everyone for joining our Cruise Through R2 webinar. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on our website tomorrow. With Workday 2020 R2 already in preview tenant, you have 5 weeks to test all your BP configurations and integrations. Our goal today during this 30-minute webinar is to show you how to reduce manual testing of your regression and release testing using automation. My name is Brenda Capsch, and I am the Business Development Manager for Rapid IT Cloudera, and I'll be your host. Today, we are joined by 2 senior members from our product team, Gopo Fries, our VP of Product, and Sasha Kapoor, our QA Program Manager. Welcome, Gopo and Sasha.
Thank you, Brenda.
Our agenda for today includes automation of release testing, followed by our Genie demo, which will show you how much easier it is to validate your R2 testing with automation. And then we will wrap it up with a QA session. I would like to ask that all questions be submitted via our chat, and we will get to as many of those as time allows. Certainly, if your questions are not answered, please feel free to reach out to me. Before I turn this webinar over to Sasha and Gopo, I would like to share a little background on Rapid IT Cloudera. We are headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, and have been in business since 2003. We are also a proud Workday Access partner. Our robust and intuitive automation solution tool known as Genie was built exclusively for Workday users. Our clients span across multiple industries and have turned to Genie to reduce all their manual efforts and ensure their testing results are accurate and 100% auditable. So with that being said, I'm going to have Gopo and Sasha take over and walk us through what a customer goes through during an R2 release, as well as the benefits of using automation to test these features.
Thank you, Brenda. I'm excited to be here today to show everyone the benefits of automation. As you all know, Workday has 2 major releases per year. And let me take a moment here to show you what Workday released last Saturday in the 2020 R2. Now, what you see are the release notes of Workday 2020 R2 that I have taken off of Workday community. As you can see, there are several new features that span all of these functional areas that have been released by Workday. Now, you and your team will need to determine what features need to be opted in versus which features you do not need. Now, it is absolutely crucial to review each release note and determine the change management impact for your organization. Now, in our conversations with customers, most of them more often are heads down doing manual testing during those 5 weeks with little or no time spent on feature review. Now, with our automation solution, Genie, it will free up your resources, and thus customers can spend less time testing and more time on feature review and initiatives. Now, let's take a quick view of our testing cycle using Genie. With Genie, we have this Workday release management and testing cycle, which is very intuitive. When Workday does a release, your sandbox preview tenant is updated with changes. When you connect Genie to your tenant, it syncs up all the changes that Workday had just released. We then test your configuration by executing approximately 2,000 plus test cases, 100,000 plus security validations, and 50,000 plus integration validations. Once the tests are run and the validations are complete, we review the results with the customers. As you can see by the color legend, we do The Genie team does the heavy lifting and the customer gets involved only at the time of results review. I would now like to hand this over to Gopo to give you an overview of Genie.
Thank you, Sasha, for that. I appreciate it. Hello, guys. This is Gopo again. I'm the VP of the product here at Cloudera. So here we are seeing the Genie home screen and how easy and intuitive, the clear dashboard that shows where are we with the execution, how is the health of your Workday application. It talks about how many integrations were run successfully by month, how many processes were run, how many business processes, reports, security, etc. Right? So it's a nice, neat dashboard, up at the front so that you know exactly what's going on with your Workday application. Right? If you scroll to the bottom here, you see all the functional areas that Genie currently can perform automation and automation testing in. Right? So if you see human capital management, we have benefits, comp, HCM, payroll, recruiting, time and absence, onboarding, talent, and release management as well, right? So with all these functional areas in place, and we offer financial solutions as well, right? In the modules that are showcased on the homepage here, right? So what you get out of a business process, what are you expecting to do as part of your release automation for your existing business process, right? That's what the crux is. What do you want to ensure? You want to ensure that nothing has broken with the business process. Everything is working to the par. Everything is the sub-process within the business process is working as expected. They are getting triggered based on the appropriate condition rules or the validation rules. You want to ensure that all your sub-process are triggering appropriately, right? And you want the routing restrictions are going out correctly. You want the security to be correct. You want the approval chain, approval workflows coming up is right. All of these elements that you just talked about, Genie can perform testing and give you the peace of mind that your business processes are working perfectly. Right. So let's go into a business process and see one of the runs so that you know exactly. And again, it's very simple, very easy to use. So we just clicked into the the module, the functional area, and I'm selecting the business process, right? So it's that simple. So now I give it a test run name. I tell what the details are, like the test data to be put in, and then I hit the submit button. So literally 3 steps, right? So you tell what the name is, your data, and then you upload, you submit. And because Genie is already connected to your Workday tenant, Genie can, execute this automation test in the cloud. Okay, and all the elements aspect to the test case can be seen under the test run. So if you go under create position, you will be able to see all the test cases that appear at the bottom here. Right. So because the beauty is Genie reads the definition of the business process at the time of execution. So what that gives you is that you don't need to tell Genie, oh Genie, when this condition meets, you have to go to another sub process. Genie automatically knows that because the intelligence that is built in reads your definition and says, oh, for example, when the position reason is understaffed or you have to go through HR admin approval, for example, right? So that's how the system the process has been configured. So because Genie is looking at that, Genie is going into that sub process, taking screenshots and showing you the auditable, trackable results every step of the way. So your compliance team is happy. You know that exactly your BPs are working. You have every proof that you have tested it. Everything is good to go. And when your employees go in or when your HR team goes in and does their daily duties, you're rest assured that your workday is working fine. That is the level of confidence you get by using Genie, right? So similarly, we have functionality that spans across integrations, reports, and security. So I want to talk about integrations for a second here, right? So the depth of integration testing that we perform in Genie is amazing, and it's way leaps and bounds apart from our competition. And why do I say that? I'll explain you why. When you run an integration, when you develop an integration, what is your objective? When you execute it, you want a output to be sent to the vendor or the internal system, and they should be able to consume the data and have no issues with the data that is coming out of Workday or going into Workday, correct? So Genie tests every element of it, not just execute the integration, pass or fail. That doesn't mean anything. What if the file inside, it doesn't meet the format of the vendor? What if all the fields are not going through? What if required fields are not being populated? What if some because of ISU security, some data elements are blank? Genie gives you that confidence. Genie tests all those elements as I just described. So it will test your file format layout. It will test your required fields, like your attributes, your maps, your headers, footers in the files, along with, even if it's a web service, Genie got you covered. And the beauty, the packaged integrations, right? The HIPAA 834, all of those can be tested by Genie. Not just launching it and seeing if it's pass or fail. Going in, opening the file, making sure your scenario that you put in. For example, you hired somebody, you gave them MetLife benefit elections, right? And that person should show up on the file. Genie not only does the file format and attributes, headers, footers, maps, required field, all of that. In addition to all of that, it also checks the file to ensure the folks that you hired, the persons that are eligible to be on the file, are they going correctly on the file or not? That is the beauty of Genie. That level of testing in depth, nobody offers in the marketplace right now. That is what Genie puts Genie apart from the competition, right? So that's something we want to portray. And the next topic I want to go touch on is reports. With reports, Genie is the only tool in the market that can test your custom reports, your calc fields, your delivered reports. It can test anything associated to reports. So, for example, you have a candidate stage report, right? And you have candidates that are coming up in the offer, right? You have a candidate that is in the offer and is shown on the output, on the report output. You can check the candidate, is that the offer, is the amount correct? Is the allowance that I'm putting, is that correct? You can check the offer hire date, what is on the offer. You can check elements associated to that offer. If that level of detail and minute details, that level of attention to the detail, Genie is the only tool in the marketplace that can provide you that level of assurance and the peace of mind, for the reports testing, right? And you can have, your recruiting reports, comp reports, HCM, doesn't matter, finance reports, any of those you will be able to test using Genie. Okay, and now I'm going to move into security, which is a key area of focus for every customer. How are you ensuring your security groups that you have configured are acting appropriately, are allowing the right people to have the right type of access, right? You want to ensure a manager with an employee working for a manager within the organization have appropriate access, that manager can perform actions on the employee which are allowed by the organization. Genie handles all of these things, with the functionality that Genie provides. So Genie can test the actions that a user can perform, be it a recruiter, be it a manager, be it a HR partner, user-based, intersection, any security group, it doesn't matter. Genie will be able to ensure you're able to test what actions you can perform on a worker versus what you should not be. Not only those, Genie tests to ensure what data points are you able to see, what fields you're able to see, what you should be able to see versus what you should not be able to see. That level of detail is Genie can perform, right? And your ISUs, you want to make sure your integration system users don't have more access than what they're supposed to and less access than what they're supposed to, because if you have less, integrations will pull empty results, right? So that ISU domain access also can be tested by Genie. That is the level of comfort, because security is on everyone's top of their mind, because you don't want people without appropriate access, or people who should not be doing things that in Workday are doing, because it's very sensitive, HR data, and you have to be very confident. And Genie gives you that assurance. That is its power that Genie brings into to your Workday application, and based on your security mappings, right? So now all of this is on one side, right? Now the beauty is Genie can combine all these things and create a package. What is a package? A package will give you an end-to-end experience. And guess what? Genie comes standard with hundreds of packages. Well, so if you see sample here, there are different packages that are shown on the screen here, right? But you can combine scenarios from different functional areas, so like recruiting, HCM, and integrations. That's the beauty. Nobody in the marketplace does that right now. So you can combine your scenarios between different functional areas along with appropriate reports or integrations, and then you can create this unique experience. So now, if you have to perform R2 testing, Genie already comes standard with all these hundreds of packages with thousands of scenarios. You plug and you play. That's it. You add your tenant to Genie. We're going to show you a sample package now, and we'll show you how easy it is to just run the integration. See in this package here, plan to hire. So we're doing positions, job requisitions, pre-hire, hiring those candidates, right, that we are selected, and we're checking the Active Directory integration to make sure that hire that you just performed is showing up on the Active Directory in outbound user. How beautiful is that? So now you are confident that not only when you create some recs in recruiting, not only you're able to hire people against those recs, but the integrations that are supposed to pick up and take that the information and deliver it to the third-party systems or your internal systems is able to do that. That is the assurance that you get out of Genie. So now hundreds of packages, push a button, boom, testing done. So run package, you scroll down, and then you can schedule this package, right, for a date and time that you would wish it to run, right? So on Saturday you have your release updates done. Now on the Saturday morning you schedule it. Once the release is applied to your preview, Genie executes all the packages with a push of a button. So now, but no, I want to run it instantly. You have that option also, run now, and you can hit the run package button. It is that simple. And now, like you can see now you go into your test runs, you will be able to see under current runs, because you will be able to see the execution is already started. Right? That is the level of so it's already triggered the position as part of that package. So that is the level of in detail that Genie can bring to you, and it brings you the validations and all of these things you can perform at a GIF.
Thank you, Gopal. Thank you for that wonderful, wonderful review, overview of Genie.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Right. With that overview, I would like to now bring out the value of automation testing. The end result of what you will achieve can easily be seen on this slide. Now, in the current scenario, without Genie, our customers focus their efforts and energy on performing regression testing manually to ensure none of their existing processes have had any adverse impact. Thus, they are focusing less on the new features that Workday has to offer, by which they are not maximizing their Workday investment. Now, with Genie in play, you will have more time to explore the new Workday features, as well as focus on your organization's core businesses. Lastly, I would like to talk about timelines. During the 5-week testing phase, this is the typical effort that organizations spend with setup of test scenarios, especially when engaging with global teams. What we analyzed from our customers was that the aggregate number of hours they spend as a combined effort to perform release testing can take as much as up to 150 hours. With Genie, you're going to spend less than 5% of your time for all release and regression testing. And with that, I would like to conclude my knowledge share of how Genie automation will save your organization's time and money. I will now turn it back over to Brenda for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha and Gopo, for that very informative cruise through R2 and showing the benefits and value of Genie automation. We hope your takeaway from today is how Genie can reduce the massive hours your team spends on manual testing, allowing more time to focus on the new Workday features or other business objectives, as well as how Genie works independently, allowing normal business operations to proceed without any disruptions to your day-to-day tasks. Certainly, if you would like more in-depth demo, one that is tailored to your specific company needs, please reach out to me as I'd be happy to coordinate that for you. So I am pulling together your questions. So while I'm doing that, I would just like to add that in addition to our powerful Genie solution, RapidIT Cloudera also provides various services to assist you with your Workday requirements. Feel free to visit our website for more details. And while you're there, you can also sign up for our free demo. Okay, I have some questions put together, and I'm going to begin addressing those now. The first question that I have is was sent to me actually through email from Julie. Can we operate in 70 countries? Can Genie perform and validate all those scenarios that includes multiple countries?
Brenda, I'm going to take that. Thank you. So yes, absolutely, it can perform testing across the countries that you're doing in business in. Absolutely no problem with that. And the reason why it is because Genie is looking at the business process at the time of execution. So if there are any country-specific rules or country-specific mappings, Genie will be automatically able to take care of those. And that's what you get out of using Genie. So it's very intuitive and easy. Yes, absolutely, we'll be able to take care of that.
Thank you, Gopo. I had another question sent in from Alan. Can Genie perform negative tests, and does Genie provide comprehensive reports on what was tested?
I'll take that question, Brenda. This is Sasha. Thank you for that excellent question. Genie can perform both positive and negative testing. When Gopo showed the overview, we have the expected result, which we can set to a failure, and the test data will be also set to fail in that scenario, and that is what we do as part of our negative testing. For your second part of the question, we have a very intuitive dashboard in Genie. I'd like to take a moment here to get into the tenant to show you that dashboard. As you can see, the dashboard here, you can select a date range for the test that you want to see executed. Right here, we have it from March to August. And as you can see, we have about 72 test cases that have been executed during this time period. It gives you the pass and fail numbers as well as the pass percentage. This pie chart right here tells you who executed the tests. So right here, you can see different color coding for that. The tests are then divided by business processes, the integrations, as well as the reports. So it gives you the type of what was executed and by who. It also tells you what test cases, how many test cases were executed in that business process. For example, hire year, It shows the numbers, the statistics. All of this that you see can be exported to an Excel, and you can do various, in the Excel, you can do various functions with the information that you get. So like I said initially, it's very intuitive, and it provides a very comprehensive information of all the tests that have been executed. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. I see a couple of questions from Karpaga. So does Genie handle all functional areas under financials? So there's multiple parts here. How about Prism and Adaptive Insights?
So I'll take that. Yes, we offer in the financial functional areas, and Prism and Adaptive Insights are on our roadmap.
Okay, thank you. And then how do you see Genie adding value in data conversion testing?
Absolutely, right, because you will, as part of data conversion, your goal is to ensure that the data that you converted from your legacy system is imported into Workday correctly. How do you do that? You run your headcount reports, your summary reports, your different type of reports that you do, and then you want to validate the benefit elections or the pay elections. All these things you will be able to test using Genie by various functionalities that are provided in Genie. So Genie can not only be used for R2, but also can be used for doing the data conversion testing as well. Absolutely.
Thank you, Kapil. I see another question. Will Genie help create test cases?
Absolutely. So as part of our methodology, what we do is we create synthetic args, and we create synthetic data. So like synthetic args and positions in those synthetic args, like dummy positions, dummy job recs, and we'll be able to hire people into those args. So all of these synthetic data can also be is done as part of our implementation. But synthetic data at the end of the day is using your business process configuration anyway. So we are automatically achieving two things as part of one. Absolutely, we can do that. No problem.
Thank you, Gopal. I just had another one come through my email.
Sure.
They are asking with regards to Workday perspective, you said you have a partnership. How is that partnership structured?
Yeah, so we are automation partners, test partners, so access level partners with Workday. And that gives us a inside look into what is coming up prior to even customers or input partners or other partners can see what's coming up in 2020 R2. So because of us having that relationship with Workday, that puts us in at a better position than the competition to allow us have that simplified, seamless, unique experience for our customers. So that what brings not only Genie but the partnership brings us more added advantage to the table. Thank you.
Awesome. We have another question for either of you. How does Genie know which sub-org to create in the position?
Yeah, I mean, so as I mentioned earlier, Genie creates we create synthetic orgs. So we use those synthetic orgs as part of the position process. If we have to use a real org, we'll be able to use those as well. During the position creation or job requisition, process. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Thank you.
Also have a question from Andrea. Could we see a sample integration test being run?
Absolutely. We'll be able to show that. Sasha, if you, I know you're, yeah, if you search for like integration here, yeah, you will be able, yeah, just go into any one of them. These are all the sample runs we have, so you can see exactly how. See the beauty of Genie now. See, like it's not only executing the integration here, right? It's telling you the key points, right? There is no ISU assigned to this integration. You need to know that because you want to make sure there is ISU assigned to your integration that is in your production system. Genie tells you that. Genie is telling you the transport option is not available. So, the transport mechanism is broken. So Genie identifies that. If the transport is set up, we will be able to test the connectivity also. Test your transport and see if the connectivity is working fine. How long it took you to run the integration. What is the row header count, including the header footer count? What is the total rows on the integration output? These data points will help you with the analysis and give you in-depth look on how your integration is behaving from time to time. Right? And then if you look at this is one of the samples right here, but we are seeing all the different fields that are being tested. So here in this integration, vendor is expecting to see all these fields on the integration output. Genie is ensuring that yes, based on what vendor is asking, are all the fields coming up correctly? Are all the data types for those fields are correct? Sometimes vendors or internal systems ask you to put a default value, right, for some fields. Are they coming up correctly? Or Genie validates those also. Now, required fields. So are all the required fields coming up with the data points that you're looking for? Like, is the validation correct for the required field? So every row of required field has data or not. Remember I talked about scenario testing where we said, if you put in a hire or you're hiring somebody, you want to ensure that they come up on the file with the correct position title, correct coverage dates, correct, coverage levels. All of that can be, so here it's a sample that shows, the last name matches, the first name the employee was found on the file, and, the position title is good. Like this, you can test your hires, rehires, terminations, job changes, coverage levels, your, HIPAA 834 validation. None of these level of detail, nobody in the marketplace offers this. And you can see what are all the parameters that you have used to launch the integration by clicking on the green button up at the top. But if this gives you this is a sample run, but you imagine there are like 500 to 600 fields and some of those complex integrations that you have. Genie can test all those in a snip, in a snag. In a minute, you'll have all those validated. Imagine if you have to do that manually as part of your release testing, how long will it take you to do those? That is the power of automation of Genie. That is what Genie brings to the table. All right? Sorry.
That's no worries. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to take one more question, just in being cognizant of everyone's time. The question is, can you please touch on process automation use cases?
Process automation use cases, absolutely. So some customers, and these are our brainstorms where our customers have come to ask us, saying, what, can you customize this process automation is very important to us. How can you help us with this? So we have tailored solutions for our customers to help them address some of these needs. That is what process automation is. Not only what you're seeing in Genie that becomes standard out of the box, but if there are any specific processes that a customer wants to automate, we are able to perform that for the customer. That is how how we work, how we please the customers. Like, if there is anything that could be done to assist or to make their life easier, we're always there for the customers. And that is the process automation brings that to the table. And like for an example, right? There was a customer, I'm going to give you an example, who said, like, when they have workers terminated and rehired within 1 year, they want their the service date to be reflected, or the seniority date to be reflected with their original hire date. Automatically that should happen. We were able to deliver that to that customer via the process automation. That, that's just a sample. So like that, we have, we can assist you with those kind of needs as well. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Gopo. I want to thank everyone for all those great questions. If there are any out there that we didn't address, or if you think of anything after the webinar concludes, please feel free to contact me, and I will ensure a timely response from either Gopo, Sasha, or myself. Would like to thank everyone today for their time. We enjoyed spending this afternoon with you. Hope you all have a great day and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.